I've been around baseball as many years as I can walk. I started playing in established leagues at the age of 5 years old. Baseball has taken me all over the country, both as a player and a fan for the last decade. I'm currently playing in a college summer league and will play at Lakeland College in the fall. I'm sure all of us in this room have been to a baseball game, watched a game on TV, or heard a game on the radio. We all probably know someone who plays baseball or has played, or even maybe you played yourself. It's easy to see why baseball is known as America's pastime, and I want to tell you about how baseball has evolved in this country. Despite being known as America's pastime, baseball wasn't actually invented in the United States. Bat and ball games such as rounders and cricket, from which baseball is derived, were played in various countries long before the first officially documented game was played in America. Alexander Cartwright is credited with making a set of rules for baseball, many of which are still used today. In 1842, the first official baseball club was founded and named the New York Knickerbockers. The majority of men were amateurs playing for sport, who found themselves all chipping in some money to help pay for the team to rent fields. Baseball has drastically evolved since that time. Today's modern game at the high levels is now a profession, and baseball overall has transformed into an industry through media, marketing, and international expansion. Some of the biggest influences on baseball have been the introduction of the concept of a baseball stadium, players being paid, and the invention of the television. All of these exposed the revenue generating potential of this game. Originally, people just gathered around the sidelines watching amateurs play. Huge crowds created the physical boundary of what was the infield and the outfield while watching the game. The first pay-to-enter baseball game of record was an all-star game between Brooklyn and New York in 1858 with a ticket price of 50 cents. Players were amateurs, although there is implication some secretly received money. According to the Library of Congress, in the 1903 World Series, Boston and Pittsburgh played in front of a record attendance crowd of, at the time, 19,000, also with a ticket price of 50 cents. By this time, players had become professional and played for pay. The majority of fans had to stand around and watch because of the limited 9,000 bleacher seating. In comparison, the 2024 World Series across all games averaged 50,000 fans, and nobody got into the game for less than $1,000. Selling admission field stadium development and paying players drove MLB ticket prices up to an average of $38 in 2024. The game, once played in an open city block, is now hosted in venues like the largest MLB stadium, Dodger Stadium, built in 1962 with a capacity of 62,000. On an average day in Los Angeles, there's 3 times the amount of fans there were at the 1903 World Series. The first media influence on baseball was selling radio ads to people listening to the play-by-play until 1939, when the first televised game was between the Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Dodgers. There was no cause for fans to enjoy baseball games over the radio waves or rabbit ear antennas until the satellite era. Today, to watch a baseball game on TV, you have to buy a streaming service which pays Major League Baseball for rights to broadcast games. Millions of dollars a year are spent on broadcast rights annually. Over the years, the rise of superstar players helped turn athletes into marketable brands, driving merchandise sales and sponsorships. And in recent decades, digital media, streaming services, and international partnerships have taken baseball to a global scale. Today, Major League Baseball generates billions through ticket sales, branded content, and licensing, making it one of the most commercially successful businesses in the world. Beyond business, the way the game is played today is noticeably different than 100 years ago. Physically, players need to be able to hit the ball further and throw it harder. They they have to be quicker in terms of actual speed and instincts to keep up with the pace the game demands. When comparing stat lines of the 2024 Major League season to the 1924 Major League season, it's almost comical to a current player because of how far the game has risen. In 1924, home runs were much less common. Babe Ruth, MLB Hall of Fame legend and in the conversation for greatest player of all time, hit 46 home runs that year. The next closest player hit 27. In the 2024 season, the top 30 players with the most home runs hit over 27, and the top 2 hitting more than 55. A less trackable change is the advance of pitching. Without access to radar guns or other pitch tracking software, no velocity measurables exist from 100 years ago. Over time, a lot has been learned about spin efficiency and how to make the ball move in all directions. Baseball barely resembles the first game played in New York, evolving from its small start as a mix of games into one of the biggest and most commercially successful sports in the world. From the formation of the first ball club, to the creation of stadiums and invention of TVs, to broadcast games globally, the game has become a billion-dollar business. Today's players are stronger, playing at a more intense pace fans clearly enjoy. For as much as it has changed, baseball still remains America's pastime.